Yep.
Alrighty guys, good morning, welcome back to the channel. Today is a Sunday actually, the day before 2025 concrete season officially starts. Getting a head start on the week, going to head and dig some footings. This was the nightmare job from the winter time where the frost was terrible and we got the frost ripper. Obviously all the frost is out of the ground now. I'm gonna get them dug today because we have inspection bright and early Monday morning. So Chelsea's coming with me in the other truck. We're gonna get everything laid out and then she's probably gonna leave because there's not much to do once you start digging, and we'll get these dug and ready for the morning. I got the machine fueled up. It's pretty muddy. I have been working, I talked about in a previous video, grading this. I rented a big dozer, so I've been doing that this past week and using the Mini for some like swales and tight spots. So all of the equipment needs a really good power washing. I'm gonna have to do that later today because they're coming tomorrow morning to pick the dozer up, and we have a driveway tear out and replace starting this week, and I don't want to bring all that mud into town. So I'm gonna have to put on my waders or something because it's gonna be messy. I'm gonna probably go through a few tanks of fuel in the power washer because it's gonna take a long time with that dozer. There's so much mud caked in there and I gotta get it clean, otherwise they're gonna charge me. All right, just pulling up to the house. It's a little bit different since the last time you guys saw it. It's actually a house now with a real roof and everything. Looks awesome. All right, I'm gonna get the machine unloaded and then we will get to work. Alrighty, so this is a little bit different since the last time we saw it. It's quite a bit settled, but that's okay. Should still have our marks on the foundation. Do you have that? Oh, you got the string line? What? You got the string line? I gotta find the print. All right, we got a full-size print. Let's keep this clean somewhere. 7-11 3/4, I remember that. I need some long stakes. What'd you say?
I said, oh sorry, you didn't tell me that, didn't you?
You're fired. Get out of here. Go watch the Masters. What time is this round? 2? Yeah. And it's the last day? Oh boy. Alright, hold me on that foundation. That's good for a level. Good? Yeah. You see that chunk of wood down there?
Yep.
Make a mark.
Like this?
Yep. Just go ahead and hold it on the wall.
At your mark?
What?
At your mark?
No, just pick a random spot, wherever you think, whatever feels right. Go ahead and hold it.
You can use a different color.
I like the white one.
I can't see it.
That's super accurate. I think I can guess where to go though. Take your string line and go to the end of the foundation. You're gonna go, I want to go to the OSB, so you're going like an inch out from the concrete. You good?
Yeah.
325 3/8. So much for the rain today. Okay. The thinking is over. Definitely say I made the right call by not pouring those footings over the winter. It was way more backfill than I probably would have known. And these footings would have already failed before I even started laying block. Sometimes, actually, I should say almost every time, trusting your gut is the right move. All right, got this thing filled up, ready to go. Gonna start digging. Pretty much this whole front's gonna have to be super deep footings because it's all fresh backfill. So we need to get down to virgin soil. Just need to be careful not to hit any of these roofs or get stuck. Because I'm digging such a deep hole, my machine needs to be level. Otherwise my footing is going to be at a super crazy depth. Yeah. Wacker Newson makes a Mini that has a piston that tilts the whole cab. Pretty cool.
Like the Skytrack?
Yeah, exactly like a Skytrack. Not many girls would have just made that reference. Watch out. This is pretty easy. It's almost like I've dug these footings before. That's what we don't want to happen overnight.
Are you gonna have to form these up with plywood?
Oh no. Yep. And you start over. There it goes. Alright guys, as you can see it keeps on caving in and we got cracks here and over there is pretty unknown, so I'm gonna go home, going to get some plywood and some kickers and kind of form these footings up. That way they don't just collapse and it's a waste of time. I hear it going. We almost made it. Oh, what a mess. That's kind of why I wanted to do it today though. I knew it was not going to go well and I wanted extra time so I'm not rushed for the inspection. Oh, what a mess. Probably should have dug that out before I put this rebar in, but I think I'm gonna just use a shovel, chop it, throw it down here quick so I can get a piece of plywood in here so it stops happening. All right, I think I can reach that with the machine. As long as it doesn't cave in before I can get over there. Alright, I'm definitely down to virgin ground. The machine won't go any deeper, which means we hit the hard clay. Alright, I got those 12-inch blocks. I got 12-inch blocks thrown down on the bottom, so the bottom can't cave in. And we're gonna take this 3/4 inch plywood and make some walls. This is just nasty old stuff from the shop that I want to get rid of anyway, so. It's not really a good way to get this down here gently. You don't want to slide your hands. Alright. Need to get my level rescued first. Oh, that's what I hit. Man, I am setting records today for bad luck. Guess I'm glad I decided to make a video today. I really thought this was just gonna go great and kind of be boring. Oh, and that's a wet sock. Oh good, now they're both wet. That way they match. I think when I drop it, it's gonna twist and then it's gonna do nothing. I'm gonna go home and change because I'm pretty miserable. Wet up to my knees. Already got a fresh change of clothes, fresh attitude. Gonna get back to digging. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. I'm just hoping that this was the only spot like this. Oh man. Same thing's happening over here. Oh, this side might be worse. Alright, so I just was coming back and something caught my eye. Found my saw. Glad I saw that. Might be toast though. I left it sitting right there. Man, being in a rush always costs you. That's Milwaukee right there. Fly off a trailer on a 60-mile-an-hour road, land in a ditch, still good to go. All right, let's head back to the job for the 50th time. That is not good. It's literally cracked all the way back here. Man. I really thought in here was solid. Apparently not. This side was just starting to look good. I'm gonna have to climb up there and try to dig all of that out. digging out, backfilling on each side, trying to kind of get this thing back to plumb. All right, I got this side good enough, but now I just noticed over here what you got going on. Oh, jeez. Completely caved in. Alright, I'm just gonna save this area here. I'm gonna have to bring back the 2-foot bucket. It's gonna take me way too long to dig out this dirt, and then we'll just have to form up this whole thing. I'm gonna have to go buy more plywood. All right, look at that beautiful footing. Pretty much ready to pour. Just kidding, absolutely terrible, but we will come in the morning, well, not in the morning, probably all day, and get this formed up, ready to go. I want to get all of the footings dug as much as I can, so I can see how much plywood I gotta buy and how many braces and blocks and what all we have to do tomorrow. So sorry ahead of time, Luke. You probably don't know the day you're in for yet. I promised him I wasn't going to take any crazy tricky jobs this year, which so far we haven't. I mean, this is obviously not going well, but it's not tricky by any means. So I don't know if this one's either going to go really great or just as bad. So when I'm doing this, I got my paint line here. The bucket can pivot like this. So even if you're not perfectly in line with your tracks, you can adjust like that. So what I like to do ahead of time is just get that bucket right over top and just practice digging basically. And then you can see how square you are before you even start. And that way you can just leave your arm locked in place. I got this one dug. It's not caving in horribly. It's not great. Still need a little bit of plywood up front, but we'll see what it does overnight. Got a pretty good fracture here. It's cracking back there. This is so short, I'm gonna be able to reach it no matter what. So I'm gonna wait till right before inspection to dig that one, because I know if I dig that, this one's a lot more likely to cave in. Oh, like that. Wow. I kind of figured this would be the worst one because of the how small it is. It's basically all backfill. Here we go. Good thing I fueled up the machine today. Alright, this doesn't make any sense. I still have quite a bit to do tonight, and this is just going to do the exact same thing that's been happening and completely cave in. So I'm just going to wait until the morning, then I'll have my skid steer here, I'll have the bigger buckets. I'll just start with the bigger buckets until we get to solid ground, and then just hog all this stuff out of here, and then don't have to worry about it caving in. Sometimes you got to make a choice when to call it quits, because sometimes it makes more sense just to reconvene the next day. Man, what a day. And as bad as this has been, what I'm about to do next is going to be a whole lot worse. Alright, I just got those few tools I had loaded up. I'm going to head back to the shop and we'll start the real fun of the day that I've been putting off all day long. Chelsea and I did a little bit of work over the weekend. It was kind of nice yesterday, so we while we had the dozer, we pushed down a bunch of trees, and I'll show you guys this cool new area that's we're gonna do. So our shop yard has been in constant evolution. Well, never happy with it. There's always a bottleneck where it's a tight area, stuff's getting hit or ran over, forgotten, or worse, just a big old mess. So these have kind of been the bin blocks the past 2 years, or actually really only a year. And my plan was to have crushed concrete, fill material, and then topsoil, but all it's ended up is just concrete everywhere because the pit closed last year. But it's open this year, so we shouldn't have too much concrete dumping unless it's after hours. So we cleared off this area here and we did it right. So we dug down at least 2 feet and put in some class 2 gravel and compacted it in lifts, so it's a nice perfectly level base for them to sit on, so they shouldn't heave that much. So this will be really nice because all of these will move over here. They're going to be taller, kind of tucked away neatly in the woods, and then that will get more millings, so this will all just be a big turnaround. So we can come in here, pull forward, back up, dump the concrete, and then pull out, and then we don't have any of this terrible mess. That trailer's getting sold, that trailer's getting sold, that trailer's getting sold, that trailer's probably getting sold. We got a lot of stuff that we just do not use anymore, so we're going to try to get it sold and out of the way this summer, and then invest in some more useful and newer equipment. All right, I'm just rambling to you guys because I am really putting off cleaning the dozer. That's what we're doing now. It's just after 6 p.m. I didn't even have lunch today. And I'm getting hungry for dinner, but I got to get the dozer clean for the morning because they're coming bright and early to pick it up. So I'm going to get the power washer set up out here. We'll get the dozer tracked over, and then I'm going to start making a big old mess. All right, climb up on this monster. We'll get it tracked over to the shop yard. This thing is unbelievably nice. Some people talk bad about this brand Devlon because it's like a Japanese company, but just my take, I think the internet has really stepped up foreign manufacturers' game, because if it's bad quality, it's going to spread like wildfire, and they're just not going to even get into the market. So obviously this is probably not as reliable as a cat, but this is just like for grading projects and like for a rental unit, this is great. I don't know the price of a cat. I know this one is $240,000, and this has just over 100 hours on it. So this thing is brand new. I moved a lot of dirt over this past week. My dozer is a little bit different. You kind of just push it forward and it goes straight forward. You don't you don't change your speed like you're on a skid steer. You can change your speed with the speed dial and you can turn it, but you got to be paying attention because it just goes without you. You can either press the pedal to stop, or you can just let off. Same thing with reverse. You're just going backwards. So there's a little bit different than a regular piece of equipment like a skid steer or something, but that's why a dozer operator can make so much money, because it's a very hard skill to learn. You got left and right, so the blade angles that way. You've got up and down, obviously, and you have twisting left and right. So you have so much control, and as you're driving, you're doing that, trying to keep the grade constant and flat, especially in like bad clay. Sand is a little bit easier. And this machine actually has something cool. It's a 2D grading system. So you set whatever pitch you want. So if I wanted to keep it totally level, you'd set it to 0 degrees obviously. Then you hold down this bottom button over here. Watch this. Boom. It adjusts, and no matter what hill I'm going on, this blade stays perfectly side to side. So I used that to kind of get practice with it, and then finally I was able to kind of take that off. But this is a super handy feature coming standard, like it's not an upgraded package, there's no lasers anywhere, and I'm kind of hopeful that this technology can be put into a skid steer soon, because it's not that complicated. Obviously left and right you don't have that with a skid steer, but up and down you do, because this one has both. So if they could implement the up and down, that would be huge. This mud was just nasty at my house. It's worse here than at that job. This is gonna kind of ruin all these millings around here. I'll start with a track shovel and get as much out as I can. Holy cow, that was a lot of work. I am completely caked in mud. That's pretty darn clean for a dozer. I can confidently say this is probably the most expensive thing that I will ever wash in my entire life. I didn't have to do this, but I was taught to leave things better than you found them. So dozer was dirtier than this when I got it, so they should be happy with how I'm returning it. I'm gonna get the power washer put away. I'm going to head in and get some food. It is 8:30, so it's been a full day. We got a very long day tomorrow, so I'll get some sleep. We'll see you guys bright and early, and Luke and I are gonna go finish up those footings. Alrighty, good morning guys. Look at that sunrise. Shaping up to be a real nice one. I am so sore from not that I didn't do anything this winter, but I didn't do that much, and then jumping right into yesterday's mess. My back and my shoulders and honestly my knees from getting stuck down in that mud. Pretty sore, but that's okay. Best way to fix that is to get back to work. Luke will be here any minute. We're going to actually go mark out a job. We're doing a pretty cool patio in a couple weeks, and the sprinklers are in the way. So the sprinkler guy is gonna come and move the sprinklers. So we're gonna go just mark out the corners. That way he can know where the concrete's gonna be and set them outside of that area, which is pretty cool because usually it's the opposite and we have to work around them and cut them, and it's a pain in the butt. So we'll go get those marked out and then head back to the real fun job and get that formed up and ready for inspection for tomorrow morning. I need to grease the dozer because they're coming to pick it up. Typically I wouldn't wear gloves, but I'm going to meet a homeowner, so I don't want to make a big old mess. That stuff takes all day to come off your hands. I think I hear Luke. Yep, he's probably like, what in the world? We got quite the mess going. We're gonna be pouring this at some point this summer, so while I had the dozer, I cut all this down to height, so it's pretty much graded and ready to go. Just need to throw a compactor on, throw forms up, and we could pour at a moment's notice if we get some free time. Man, wearing gloves is weird. I hate gloves so much, unless it's like in the winter or something, but This thing is so fancy. It's got pistons and it can sense when the dozer is losing traction because it's pushing too much, and it pushes the front of the tracks down to gain more traction. Like, that's crazy. Equipment is coming a long way. I knew I wasn't going to get much out of that. I'm just going to clean the inside a little bit too. I don't know if all this is required. I just don't want to be wrong and get charged a cleaning fee or something. I kept it really clean. I took my boots off every single time I was in it. But last night when I was cleaning it, getting in and out, my pants and everything was caked in mud. This seat is nicer than my truck seat. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that surprisingly. It should be for $250,000. It's a Doosan seat. I don't know if it's like the same company or if they just use Doosan seats, but Doosan is usually big excavators or loaders. I don't know if we have any weather coming today. Rain would not have helped those footings. Alright, I gotta find her address. We'll get heading to the patio. Wasn't really on the docket for the day, but I didn't have time this weekend. Alright, I'll just go with the short tape for now. Let me see one of these. Hold me on the foundation. Holy cow, this is a big patio. Okay. You pretty well good?
Yeah, I don't know if you can line that one up.
Nope. She's gone. You think you can visualize that? Is that good enough for a sprinkler guy? Alright, now you're about to see what I got myself into yesterday. Alright, it's a new day. Let's see if or how much worse it got overnight. Still just as ugly, but I don't see any more major cave-ins, which is great. Yeah, I think we'll get this front totally done, and then if we need to go get more plywood, we can do it at that time. I'll get the Mini brought around and we'll get this day started off right. So
all right,
I'll give you, sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, well, that guy was very pleasant. So that's awesome. Had some trouble with some of the office people there, but he was super nice, and he's who I'm going to actually be dealing with for the inspection. So. You were faster than I thought. This mud is so hard on this stuff. But that shows you how, that's why I didn't pour my footings, because my footings would be that much lower. Oh, I totally just swapped buckets, didn't I? And I said we're starting here. Well, we don't necessarily need a bucket for this.
So is there anything going on in the back where you were parked?
Oh yeah, we got 3 of these.
How bad is it?
Worse. But we know it this time, so we're gonna dig everything out. Why didn't bring the skid steer here actually? Lift it right up onto the edge, and then we can carry it like 4 sheets at a time. take it around. All right, certainly not the prettiest thing we've ever built, but we'll do some kickers and we'll backfill as we're pouring and it'll be just fine. This is simple, this is simple. Now we're gonna go to the real fun, but it should be easier than this side because we're gonna take it all out this time. That's why I used solid drain tile yesterday when I patched this, because I knew I'd be packing clay on here, and it's going to be covered in concrete, so it doesn't really matter if it is perforated. Let's get this digging. Alright, I think it's worth going and getting plywood because we're gonna have to go as we go, because I can see that
There's already a fracture on top.
yeah, matter of seconds before that caves in even more and then I can't reach it. So alright, let's get out of here. We'll go get plywood. $870.
870?
Yeah. Woo. That was close to that Ballard. I don't know if I can make this, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, they finally moved that pile of drywall. Alright, we need 19 more.
Question?
Can you get me down a bunk of 3/4?
Got plywood?
Yeah. Yep. Thanks. Thank you. That's 8, 9, 16, 25. One more. 26. That guy's gonna be like, man, those guys really just threw the lumber in there. Their boss is gonna be mad. Yes, their boss is mad that he has to even buy the plywood. Good afternoon. Just clustered in the bed.
You guys are all set?
Thank you much. You too. I left this thing on the toolbox yesterday, drove home, it fell off, and I found it in the corner ditch. Still works.
The whole saw?
Yeah.
Wow.
Battery, saw, everything. All right, there. Now you will not have trouble.
Now I can't blame it on that.
Yep. Well, yeah, I shouldn't say you won't have trouble. If you do, it's your fault. It's not the blade's fault this time. It was going good. I don't think that's supposed to be doing that. We're making such good progress. We'll go back to the shop, get some crescent wrenches for that, and I'll have you bring Big back. That way you can leave at the end of the day. Alright, if you guys didn't hear that, we're gonna head back to the shop, get some tools to fix that hose. I'll take the hose off so we can go get the hose fixed. It's a pretty common spot, that's why we put that knuckle there. Broken multiple times. A bunch of different options. Alright, heading back to the job. We'll get this hose swapped out quickly. Head down to Dibley, they're a Bobcat dealer, and get the new hose made up. And then put the hose back on, and then go back to work. It's gonna be another late one for sure, but this side is actually going pretty good. This wind is really annoying, but I'll take it. It's drying all the backyard patio areas we need to get to, and I should have known something was going on. I smelled something kind of funny. Should have looked down. Pretty obvious. Have you ever gotten a new hose made? A new hose? Okay. It's not very complicated. Just go in and tell them you need this hose made with the same fittings, same length. Put it on the account. While you're waiting, say, Austin's not rushing you guys. He's just curious if you have an update on the MT100. Call me with any questions. Thank you. Can't believe how fast you were. Just looking for fluid. Can you watch the ball?
Here we go.
Okay. Alrighty, I just sent Luke home. He put in a good almost 12-hour day on his first day back. Told him it wasn't going to be the most fun. We got this section formed up. This is really good. This one is okay. Made this one wider just because it was really tricky in between there. Had a cave in here, of course, so I'm going to excavate this in the morning, and I'll pull over here with the 1-foot bucket, dig the rest of this out, and I will just set some sheets of plywood down in there. I'm completely exhausted. This is so much work, walking in muck boots down in the trenches, lifting your feet up, and this is a lot harder than I thought it was going. I mean, I knew it was going to be hard today, but I figured it would just like go pretty quick. And then here we got the pit of death. That is about 14 feet from down in there up to our grade. So we haven't been down in there. We're just gonna pour thick concrete. I'll waste the money. And then on the front, it was looking good, but not so much anymore. When I was tracking around with the Mini, I noticed this side caved in pretty bad. So this whole section here collapsed, but I think I can stay here, dig this way, and take the pressure off. I'm hoping. Honestly, this pieces of rebar is probably what saved it. So I'm gonna get the machine around quick, get this dug out, just in case if I have to redo it, I'll have to stay here all night. But if I'm able to kind of save it, then I can just quickly do this. I have 2 estimates tonight, so I'm gonna be three and a half hours late for those. But go do those, then go home, get some supper, and then go to bed, because we got to pour all these footings tomorrow. Alrighty, thanks for the snack. Love you too. Alright, I'm gonna get back to work. I am down to virgin soil with 1 bucket full. So just have to scratch a couple more spots, then I can shovel it out, and then we'll be good. Alright, I think that's enough for a day. Second 12-hour day in a row, and the season hasn't even really started. Oh, my socks are still wet. They've been wet all day. Alrighty, gonna clean the mud off, you guys. We're obviously going to pour the footings tomorrow. Hopefully we pass inspection. Hopefully we don't have any crazy cave-ins over the night. I'm gonna head and do a few estimates, probably do a little bit of editing tonight, get some dinner, and hit the hay. We'll see you guys bright and early on the next video for pouring these footings. Alrighty guys, good morning. It's actually evening. We poured the footings today. I'm editing this in here because it didn't go very well. It turned out okay, but it took a lot of extra work, so we didn't record much. So this end of this video might be a little confusing. I was gonna make a full video out of the footing pour, but there's not even enough footage to make a full video. So we're just going to wrap them all into one, call this job done with in one video, and we'll get back to normal pouring concrete in the morning. Hope you guys enjoy watching us struggle. Alrighty, good morning guys. Welcome back to Rathburn Contracting. Today we are going to pour those nightmare footings. We do have a pretty big storm front on the way, but I have my brother coming to help today. He's in town from Montana, so I'm gonna have him probably drive the skid steer. That way Luke, Chelsea, and I can just focus on pouring the footings, making sure everything's square, plumb, good enough. If you guys saw the last video, these footings are probably the worst, hardest footings I've ever poured in my life. It was supposed to be like 12 yards, I think, and we're going to be lucky to make it with 30. So the scope of the job changed a little bit, but I've spent the past 2 completely full days getting these footings ready for inspection. So fingers crossed we pass inspection, and kind of more importantly, hoping that that storm front isn't too bad. It's definitely gonna hit us. Oh wow, up north's getting snow. That's crazy. So we're gonna get a little bit of that green stuff. The hourly says we're only getting 1/100 of an inch. Just praying it's not more, because it's coming right this way, and these back 2 footings, they do have porches over them, but with the wind, it could be driving and we could be in trouble. So see my brother here. I'm gonna get out and check to see if we have any cave-ins overnight, and we're gonna start rocking and rolling. All right, I got Logan heading to pick up the mud bucket. We definitely have rain on the way. You can see it coming over that field. This one held up totally fine. Obviously we knew this cave-in needs to be dug out here. This one held in, which is what I was worried about, but we do have some pretty good cave-ins on the front. All right, don't have any cave-ins here. This is the monster hole, the 14-footer. Oh man, what do I get myself into with these jobs? It wasn't supposed to be like this, but it is what it is. Up here, this was in the last video, I had to work late digging out this big cave-in. Well, now the other side and the front caved in. Of course, where I didn't put any plywood. Right there. And that looks like it's all clay. So I'm not getting that with a shovel. I'm gonna have to swap the 1-foot bucket on and start digging that out. I don't really care about getting wet. I'm just scared about cave-ins. So I got an hour and a half until the inspection. I think we'll be okay. You lift your arm up and you curl in as you're tracking across. You're basically floating over top of the trench. It's a little scary in this scenario. Can't hit the house. Then you use your blade. So now your blade and the backside of your tracks are supporting you. You got to be real careful if it's sandy soil though, or you'll just drop. Alright, we set that piece down in place, got that cave-in dug out by hand, all the way clean. Got this whole cave-in clean. It caved in again, cleaned it back out by hand. Got this sheet just to shore it up, and then as we're pouring, we'll just take this dirt and backfill to keep this nice and plumb. Luke's tracking around to the big footing. We're gonna get back there because we got a lot of clean out to do yet. All right, we're making great progress. Got Luke and Logan down there cleaning out the small trench. I'm just gonna track up here by the garage and do what I can to reach. So it's less hand work they have to do. Whew. Help.
Right here, they can shovel it out.
That'll work better. Morning. Quite the mess we got, eh? Alright, well, it'll be here any minute. Yeah, literally any minute. We got this ready to roll. I got Logan cleaning the chute, and the mud bucket is ready to roll. Alright, got the bucket clean. It is crazy windy. It's starting to rain pretty good. How's it going?
Actually not bad.
You got a plan for that? I'm just trying to make sure we're ready to go. Alright, it is now raining and sleeting. So I'm gonna chill in here, wait for the truck. Got Logan ready to go for instructions on filling it. And we're just gonna have to, it's gonna be a long cold day if it's like this. Hopefully this little front passes. I'm actually gonna check the weather. Hopefully it passes and then gets a little nicer later, but I'm not overly optimistic of that. We'll do that with the last truck. You just do that. Bingo, bango, bongo. Like 3/4 full. I don't really know how sketchy sketchy it's gonna be. Here we go. Alright, go ahead and just shake what you can. Forward. There you go. Alright, not sure where we left off, but mud bucket broke and the truck can't pull up, so having Logan just bucket it in here. A little crude, but it's working. Gotta go right on top. Push that down as much as you can, but you don't have to go way out there. Chels, let me know. I gotta blow this outside way in. I'm trying to be with the foam. Alrighty guys, sorry we did not record very much today. You guys saw how it went, and honestly, just obviously the jobs always take priority over YouTube. We were sprinting around with our heads cut off, and the job obviously always comes first. So I just had to stop recording for once because this was one of the hardest footing jobs in my entire life. And if you don't know what you're looking at, this looks terrible, but if you do know, it's workable. It's not ideal, but we've got stepped footings because we ran short on concrete. We already ordered 3 times more than this job originally had called for, and that's all that we could get from the plant today. So we'll just have to lay more block in these lower areas. So here is 1 extra course, here is 2 extra courses to get up to this upper level. So we were able to get all of our heights in and get them straightened out. Not perfectly straight, but that's why we poured them a little wide, so we had some wiggle room with our block. This was a super sketchy area with this caving in, but I got it backfilled. You can walk here safely, and we were talking about it. It's not ideal. We have to lay way more block than we were planning on, as well as all the extra concrete, but all of the sketchiness, that's all gone, and now we're just dealing with normal masonry. I don't think we'll pour walls. I think we'll just lay up this block. So we need to take all this plywood off, clean up these edges so that we're not tripping while we're laying block. Sorry if it's windy. It has been nasty the entire day. It finally quit snowing. And then this one here, we had this cave in a couple times, had to hop down, re-dig it out. We had this end wall blow out about 4 feet. So we had to get out, shovel out the concrete, pack in the dirt, squeeze it back together, and we got it. right in line with there. It looks terrible because of the plywood, but the concrete, it's gonna work out. We just have to deal with all these steps. This one's kind of a bummer. We got 4 steps in there. So down there for that whole area, we gotta lay 4 extra blocks just to get up to our normal height. And then we gotta lay 5 or 6 courses, I think. Back here, we have a lot of block. This is, I don't know if it'll be the most block I've ever laid on a job, but it's gonna be close. Alrighty guys, just pulling back to the shop. I was talking with the builder, going over, kind of explaining everything and all the different changes we had to make to the project. So it'll be a ton of block to lay, but it'll be all right. My brother drove the skid steer back home, so we're gonna get that power washed, get any concrete splatter off, and then call it a night, because tomorrow we got another job starting. Alrighty guys, just got back to the shop. We got the skid steer cleaned. It was acting up quite a bit, and I was kind of worried about it. Maybe had a drive motor or something going, but there was literally so much mud packed inside. That was why. So got it shining, looking like $1 million. Well, not $1 million, maybe a little less than $1 million. She needs a little TLC, but good enough to tear out the driveway in the morning. Luke and I are gonna head to that job and get it torn out. I don't remember how big it is. It's let's say a medium-sized driveway, and it's about, I think, 1/3 concrete right now. So we gotta tear that concrete out, gotta haul the gravel away, get it down, because it's the city right away, so we need to pour 6 inches thick, and then we'll get it ready for Thursday morning bright and early to get it poured back. I'm completely whooped. Sorry if this video was a little confusing. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.